Hi YouTube, thank you so much for clicking on my video. So in this video, I am going to be showing you how to create an aligned sales strategy that feels really good to you and feels really exciting so that you can go out and 10x your revenue. So if you aren't familiar with me, I am Rebecca Barr, aka the Femalepreneur Coach. I am a multi-six-figure business owner and award-winning entrepreneur, and I have also created six-figure success for my clients as well. If you're listening to this on my podcast, then thank you so much, ladies, for returning. You can also head over to YouTube and listen and watch this episode as well. So apologies, first of all, caveat, there is a little bit of background noise, but if anybody knows me as a business coach, it's all about taking the inspired action and moving anyway. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create an aligned sales strategy from scratch that is essentially going to 10x your revenue right now, and just get a really practical step-by-step process to help you to create more money and more wealth in your business. So the first thing I want to double check with you is that essentially the business that you have is actually one that you feel really aligned to already. So it supports a higher purpose, it supports a higher mission, and essentially you would be doing this work if you weren't paid anyway, because that kind of enthusiasm and deeper connection to your work is essentially what is going to sell it to your clients. So if you are selling something because you feel that you need to be doing all the things, or it's a latest trend and you really don't care about it, guess what? You're not going to get any conversions, because energy is contagious. And if you are not obsessed and excited, then neither will your clients be. And also, the next thing I want to double check is, have you actually got something that your clients want? So I've got some notes because I need to keep on track. Again, I can talk about all the things around the houses, and I want to keep this super valuable for you guys. So have you actually got something that your audience wants? And if you're not sure, then what you can do really quickly is to go out and do some market research and actually check with your social media followers if actually what you're thinking about creating is something that they want. So this could be through your stories, polls, DMs, all the things, but make sure that you are actually providing something that they want, because also what that will do is if you put a poll or a story onto your social media stories, that creates a warm list of people that are already interested in what it is that you're going to be selling. That's a really hot tip, because then once you've created the thing, you can go back to them and say, hey, you know that you're interested in my offer. It's now ready. Would you like to buy? That's a great way to get a beta launch off the ground. It's a great way to get money in your pocket straight away. So once you know that you have something that connects deeper to your higher purpose, something that you are obsessed about and you really cannot wait to share with the world, the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and create a goal for that income. So this is where you need to get really intentional, really specific about what is the number of sales that you want to make for that thing. And this could be for more than one offer, but it's about having that clear line of sight of what it is that you actually want to create. So I always encourage my ladies to go for the £1 million, because ultimately 6 figures right now, ladies, is not enough money. You are only ever one financial emergency away from a complete shit show, essentially. So always go for the big numbers. As scary as that feels, that is what's going to lead to true wealth and financial independence. So once you have that number, let's just say for argument's sake, it's £1 million. Can you actually do you actually have £1 million in your business? So the first thing I'd love you to do is get a blank sheet of paper or a spreadsheet and actually decide, how do I best prefer to serve my clients? So if you're a service-based entrepreneur, this is super easy. So for me as a coach, there are multiple ways that my clients can work with me. One of my favorite ways is to work on a one-to-one basis or as part of my mastermind. So I am very clear about what the numbers are and therefore how many I need to sell. So I'm going to get you to reverse engineer, but I don't have products or service offerings within my product suite that I don't feel really excited about selling. So I don't have things like group programs right now. That doesn't excite me. It doesn't work with me energetically. So guess what? I might have one foot in the gas thinking consciously that I want to sell that offer, but I'm also going to have unconsciously one foot on the brake, because ultimately I don't want to have to deliver it. So the first thing I want you to do is really look at, how do you feel best to serve? What feels best for your energy type, your personality, what really excites you? Because there's no point adding things to a product suite if actually you don't want to do it. So, and this is where you need to be empowered to make decisions that feel really, really good to you, rather than looking around and thinking what you should be selling. So again, like I say, if group coaching programs don't work for you, don't sell them. Equally, if working with one-to-one clients don't fit you energetically, do not sell them. Go for something else that really helps keep you in your zone of genius and keep you really excited and works with your energy type. The next thing I want to do, so if you look at my examples, for instance, one-to-one coaching is one of my favorite things to do. Currently, it's £10,000 to work with me on a one-to-one basis for 6 months. But is that scalable? Well, probably to a point, but not entirely to 1 million, because I think I'd need to work with about 100 clients, which would be a lot, which would be a lot at any point in the month. So that is not a scalable offer. It's something that can complement my offers, absolutely, but there's only so much of me and only so many hours in the day and only so many clients that I can serve at that level. So look at the product suite that you have. Is it actually scalable? Do you have an offer within your product suite that is scalable to £1 million? Now, if you are selling low ticket memberships, $7 products or self-studies, that is not scalable to £1 million unless you have a huge amount to put into ads, because that is ultimately what it's going to take to drive that offer. So what I would love for you to do is to consider getting a product suite in place that is scalable, but also allows you to serve clients at multiple price points. So again, it's always good to have like a low tier offer that helps somebody to really get like a foot in the door and a sense of your energy, a sense of you, without really going all in and investing too much money. It allows the people that need to stretch into that investment to working with you. It gives them somewhere to start and then something to aspire to. One thing I hear a lot about from women in business is that they don't want to be too expensive because they're worried about not being able to serve people and not being able to help ultimately who they want to help. But this is where passive income, digital products, low ticket offers really can help you to start that process with people that, perhaps the higher tier offers, it's a bit of a stretch and it's a journey that they need to take in order to be able to afford those products for you. I'm all about being smart, never leaving money on the table, always leaving people with an option for an upsell, and also for a downsell for the people that aren't yet ready to invest. So I would love to encourage you to kind of have that sense of broad product suite and have that sight for you as to how you can scale to that $1 million or £1 million from wherever you are in the world. So if you have something that is, and one thing again that I always encourage people, it's to allow you to scale with the one-to-many offer. So as much as I have my high touch, intimate one-to-one clients, I've also got my mastermind, which allows me to scale, because it doesn't mean that I need to put any more time or energy into that offer or that container, even if I have more and more people in it. So actually what happens is that it becomes less and less about me. It actually becomes about the collective and the other women that are in those containers. So the value actually increases for the women that are coming in for now, for example, because there's already so many women in there. There's a great sense of community and the value increases the more and more women that are in there. So I would encourage you to put something like that. So that could be a group coaching product or a membership or a mastermind or an academy into your product suite, because that is really scalable. So once you've got those numbers and you know how many do you actually need to sell, then that helps you to reverse engineer your weekly activities. So if you don't have something right now in your product offer suite, then what I would love for you to do is really look at it with an objective pair of eyes and think, right, what value can I add here that my ideal client would love to pay for, that means that it is now scalable? So if it is a low ticket membership, add a VIP option, an upsell. If it's a mastermind that is perhaps only like a couple of $1,000s, how do we double that or even triple that or quadruple that, but add more value so that you don't have to sell as many and that you can really go all in on the experience that you're giving to the clients that are within that container? That's something that I really love to do. So, and then the last thing is making sure at all times that this is aimed at your ideal client. This isn't about who you think will buy and who you believe is your ideal client. It's who actually is your ideal client for you. And it's okay if that ideal client is somebody who, like I say, is of a certain income level and can actually afford to invest in the services that you're offering. It's okay if your ideal client is no longer the client that was serving you up till this point. It's now your next level client. Okay. So I want you to take that moment when you're doing this exercise to really lean in and see if you're ready to add value to a client at the next level. And then finally, it's moving into how are we actually going to now sell this thing. Once you've defined your core product suite and you've got clarity on that, you know how you're going to scale it. You know exactly how many you need to sell in order to scale to that million. How do you prefer to sell? This is where it's, again, all about being in alignment with yourself and increasing the awareness around your own energy types and what feels good to you. Because ultimately, if you turn up in whatever, in any vehicle with your best energy, obsessed about your business and what it is that you're selling, you know it's already something that your ideal client wants and needs, and you're now showing up with authority and excitement about that product. Guess what? You're going to sell it. So you can do that without a sales page. You can do that without an email sequence or a funnel. You can do it without ads. You can literally do it just by showing up very authentically like this, in your stories, in DMs, in lots of different ways. So first of all, how do you prefer to sell? Are you a person that prefers to jump onto a sales call? Are you a person that likes to be quite passive, in which case ads and DMs are quite good? Are you a person that really wants to deeply connect with that person? Perhaps it's through social media and DMs and sales calls instead. Equally, you've also got to make sure that it's easy for clients to buy from you. So this is about making sure that your journey to purchase is seamless. Make it as easy as possible. Make sure you've got clickable links. Don't assume that everybody needs a hand-holding process to in order to sell and invest in somebody. I actually sell quite confidently through my DMs and literally shoot people a payment link, and they're happy to do that. And equally, as an ideal client for most of you, time is money. I don't need to have a conversation as long as, I like that person and I buy into their values and I know that they're good at what they do. So I've seen social proof and testimonials. Then I'm quite happy to literally just, how can I work with you right now? Send me the details, send me the link, let's get it going. And those are the kind of ideal clients, hell yes, fast action people that you should be aiming for in business. Making sure that all of your links in your newsletters always have an opportunity to buy from you, making sure that you've got clear links on your website. All of those are just no-brainers. Links in your stories. Make it super easy for somebody to buy from you. Don't assume that they need lots of nurturing and hand-holding process in order to buy. So what we want to do also is, how can we increase your chances of getting that offer in front of the right people? So this is where you can either, when you're wanting, sales is a number game, essentially. Nobody has 100% close rate on a sale. It's impossible because people will be attracted to you for different reasons, and they'll also be at different stages of their journey. This is why it's better to get your prices out rather than waiting for people to come to you in order to find out the price, because people can automatically start to discount themselves and say, right, okay, well, that's not for me right now. I don't have that money sitting there, but I can circle back. And this is now something. I'm on people's vision boards for that reason. I'm very upfront and transparent about my prices. Therefore, people can automatically deselect if it's not for them now. And they tell me, you're on my vision board. I'm coming back to you at the end of the month. I'm coming back to you next month. Obviously, then I'll put them onto a spreadsheet so that I can circle back and continue to nurture that relationship. It's also about having systems and structures when it comes to sales. And as much as I am also about being spiritual and manifesting and all of the things, we also need, business is a perfect blend of masculine and feminine energy. So you need to have structures and action in your business, but also have trust and faith that if you are, like I say, showing up with your best energy with a product that you already know your client can benefit from and you're obsessed about it, you're again increasing your chances of conversions. So what we want to do though is obviously make sure that we're getting the biggest opportunity to sell, i.e. the most amount of eyes on that offer. So this is where, when it comes to building an audience, you can build it, borrow it, or buy it. So you can build it organically through social media and by content creation. And slowly building and nurturing an audience, you can borrow it by collaborating with other people that already have the attention of your ideal client. So this is my favorite way to sell, because I, as a human design type, love to connect with other people. So this feels really good to me. I love to go into other people's groups to be a guest expert in their masterminds, to be on their podcasts, to also have joint ventures and collaboration. So I always have things like that going on because that feels really good to me. That makes my business exciting. Hopefully that will be for you too. So that's where you can borrow somebody else's audience to give you a greater reach and more chance at selling, or you can buy it through paid advertisements and commissions, affiliates, incentives, and all of the things. So make sure that you've got some awareness of your intention as to how you're going to actually get more people to have a look at this offer. And then once you've actually made your sales, the last thing I want to leave you with is how you leverage that success to create more success. And it's about, again, just having that sales mindset always. Selling is serving. The more people that you can serve, the more people that you can serve, essentially. So once you've made those initial sales and you've got people across the line and they're starting to get results, how can you leverage that opportunity to create more sales? Well, this is where it's great to have things like upsells. So with every offer, everything that I do, I don't ever want to be leaving money on the table. I always want to give an opportunity to cater for everybody at different stages of the journey. So for instance, I have an event in January. I have the tickets there, but if anybody wants a VIP experience to that, I can add things like maybe additional one-to-one time with me, maybe a bonus gift, maybe a follow-on call, maybe access to my team on the day, or additional pictures. I've got a branding photographer coming. Like, there's all things that I can do that just makes that even more incredible as an experience. There will be people that want that. Whenever there's two options available to me, I always want to go for the VIP option, because if I'm going to invest, it's a hell yes. How do I make it even better? And that's what we want to do. So again, with my mastermind, you've got the regular mastermind entry point, and then I've got the women that will also want additional touch points with me, and that just gives me another opportunity to upsell and serve at a higher level for my clients, with the clients that I've already got. The next thing is around testimonials. So second thing, sorry, is referrals. So ask the people that have already bought in to promote that they're in, that they've so this is where shareable content is really, really great, but also ask them for referrals. Like, people love to be helpful, and if you've got somebody that's already bought into you, they love you, ask them if they know anybody else that can also benefit from your services. And then the final thing is testimonials and social proof. So this might sound really funny, but whenever I get a client that has a really fantastic client win, I literally tell them to ride that pony all the way home. How can we make this testimonial even more powerful? How can we repurpose it in different ways to get more bites of the cherry of that success? Because success breeds success, not only for you, but also for your audience. So if you've got somebody who is your golden goose client who has had a fantastic result, as well as just sharing it as a graphic or as a screenshot, can you get them onto an IGTV live? Can you get them to record a video with you with very intentional questions where you've asked them, how are you feeling? What was your journey beforehand? And how did you benefit by investing in my services? That will not only give you, expert status and really cement in your audience's mind how great you are, but also if they can't see themselves in your story, then they may be able to see themselves in that of your client's story. So one thing I know a lot of my clients struggle with is that they work with lots of different types of clients. So I did a podcast series, which was called the Making Money Moves podcast series. You can actually go ahead and listen to that over on my podcast, where I really went into another thing again is that you can do a case study of the work that you did with your client and break it down so that, again, additional value for your audience, but also walk them through the steps that you took, again, positions you as an expert. But equally, what I did with that podcast series was, because I work with so many different types of women in different industries with different types of businesses, different personality types, we had very intentional strategies to scale their business, and they were very different. So for me, the more that I can show the different variety of clients and results and strategies that we use, the more that my audience will be able to connect with one or other of my clients, and the more likely they are to purchase from me, knowing that I have that ability to adapt and bespoke strategies to them. So those are my top tips on how to build an aligned strategy to create more sales in your business that is ultimately going to feel really good to do it and create a business that you are wildly obsessed about. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it, please subscribe. I'm going to be adding a lot more content here on this page, and I am super excited to serve you. So thank you, have a great day, and let me know your key takeaways in the comments below.